Two friends, two minds, and one love for Arsenal Football Club. You are now listening to the Cod and Two Minds podcast.
Oh.
Hey.
What's up, player?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, you know, season's winding down, just another great Sunday watching Arsenal.
Right.
North London Derby. Last one at White Hart Lane. You would think the team would be fired up, running all over the place like maniacs, fighting.
Yeah. I mean, I just Hey, how about that midweek game? Huh?
Yeah, that was
a big crapper fest for hella long.
Yeah, that should have let us know what we were in store for. A team void of any ideas. No ideas. Arsenal, they play the most beautiful football. Oh, gosh. It doesn't look too beautiful. It really doesn't. Just no ideas. Man. No ideas going forward. And, forget the Leicester game. That should put me to sleep. Okay, forget that.
Yeah.
Let's get on to this. North London Derby. Now, some of the older players were talking about if they had a chance to end Tottenham's chances at a title, they would be so fired up, so hyped for this game. You know what I mean? And then when I watched this team play, it just didn't look like we had. Especially in the second half, the same sort of intensity. And I've been screaming that for years. You know what I mean? You gotta get your team mentally prepared to play in big games. You gotta have them fired up. You gotta slap the shit out of somebody like Gibbs. Just slap him right in the mouth in front of the rest of the team.
Yeah.
You gotta shake Ozil. Don't hit him, just shake him. Grab him by the shoulders and shake his ass. Tell him to wake up. Shake the weed off. Do something. But, the team just comes out there, to me, we look flat,
I mean, in the first half, it's just, tale of two games like always to me. But, I'm not going to say like always, but it was a tale of two games. Like, the first half, they didn't get right on it, but they did at one point pick it up and they were pressing hard. Look like they might, cause an error or two here and there, and we might capitalize.
I agree.
At the same time, they were still kind of getting it in, they were still, getting it into dangerous areas, especially set piece wise and stuff.
No, completely agree. But I mean, here's the thing. It's, one of the announcers, I forget which one, I think it was Dixon, but I mean, he said if you're gonna be a pressing team, you can't do it, periodically throughout the game. It's got to be within your DNA. It's got to be something you work on all the time, and you have to be organized and you have to just do it, the whole game. And you can't have fools like Ozil cruising around trying to, pretend like he's pressing people. It's got to be it's got to be, everybody has to put in the same amount of effort, and you got to be organized and you got to do that. And, doing it, at certain points throughout the game, teams can weather that storm. And as far as the first half, Tottenham should have easily scored 2 goals. Easily. The Dele Alli miss and the Eriksen miss, so that's 2-0 right there. And, I'm not going to get lost in the fact that we were able to keep it 0-0 until halftime when, there was clear-cut opportunities for them. And to me, going forward and defensively, the team looked flat. They looked like they weren't really into the game as much as they needed to be, as much as all everybody.
I agree with that. I mean, I do agree with that.
What'd you think of the lineup?
I don't know. I know he started Gibbs and Monreal midweek. So but I was surprised to see it again today. All that being said, I thought Gibbs had some bright moments in this game. But don't
even get me started on Gibbs. Don't even. I mean, he's still scared, dude. Still scared.
He
still
is
scared. Still timid. Still, he'll turn around and pass the ball back. He won't put any pressure. He won't try to get to the byline. A few times he did, but I mean, come on, this fool's been at the.
Well, that's when I say he had a few bright moments today. That's what I'm saying. Like he actually got to the baseline, and I was like, oh wow, I haven't seen him down there in quite a while. I mean, he came in and tried to smash that one shot. Well, two shots actually. But one of them, I thought he was actually gonna put it in the near side, but
I hear. Right, I feel you, but here's the thing: like he hasn't played all year.
Yeah,
all year hasn't played, and all of a sudden you're gonna start playing this guy. I mean, you put him in, there was a stretch where he wasn't getting any time and it looked like Monreal needed a rest and Gibbs wasn't out there. Gibbs is a veteran. He's been at the team for a long time and he slowly just dwindled away to just a dried up turd. He's just awful to me.
Yeah.
I'm in a bad mood, Fiddy, if you couldn't tell. I'm in a bad mood.
Okay.
But to me, the
first thing to do is recognize and acknowledge. Okay.
Yeah. As you can tell, I'm feisty. I'm coming at you crazy. But hey, it's whatever. Here's the thing: the most glaring miss to me is Rob Holding not playing. Huge. Yeah, even though he's 20 years old, and you gotta rest him, and you don't want to just stop all that shit. Put the kid out there and let him keep playing. You know what I mean?
I agree.
That's a huge mistake by Wenger. Who else?
Hey, bro.
Ramsey.
Hey, bro. On. Holding had a little knock, man. That's why he wasn't playing, man.
Whatever. Was he on the bench?
No. Hey, that's not the truth. Or I don't know to be the truth.
So, somebody's gonna hit me up on Twitter talking that shit. But I mean, yeah, huge mistake by Wenger to not play Holding. He's just getting his feet wet. He looks like he's got a little rhythm now. You play him in the back line. He's the only one with some sort of composure, which is sad to say. Giroux was a huge mistake. Alexis out left was a huge mistake. Giroux is not playing good. He hasn't been playing good for a few games now. Neither is Alexis, but Alexis is going to give you some sort of magic here and there. Today he didn't because he was just wasting away wide left. Wasting away, not really doing much. Meanwhile, Giroux's not holding the ball up. He's not taking shots. He's slow. He's not being aggressive. There goes your pressing game with Giroux up top. It's not going to work. Another huge mistake, and there was one more. I can't remember. Oh, well, it was Gibbs. If you play Holding, then you can put Monreal out there to play that left wing back and get Gibbs the fuck off the field. Yes. He's a pussy. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's been at the club for years. And, but I mean, that's another example of players just slowly digressing to dog shit. When Gibbs first came to the team and when he first got those starts, he looked so promising. And then slowly, after all these years, this is what you get. And that's what you get with fools like Theo, Jack, Ramsey, Ox, he's fighting it. He's fighting it. But, there was a few years there where you're like, damn, I don't know if Ox is ever going to get his shit together. You look at Bellerin now, man, come on.
Somebody is heated.
It all boils down to player development. You know what I mean? You get these guys. Oh, Wenger can find talent. Oh gosh, you look at Iwobi now. I mean, come on. If you're not a world class player already, when you come to Arsenal, like an Alexis or an Ozil or a Peter Cech, if you're not already world class, you are gonna slowly dwindle away to dog shit. Because the player development, whatever we do in training, is all crappy.
I tell you what, some shit ain't working. Now, this intermission is brought to you by Green Day. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road.
Have you been drinking? Ooh.
Oh, am I drinking right now? Yes.
Oh, okay. But
I tell you what, this is how it works. I'm only drinking once a week now.
Oh, really? After Arsenal games?
And I save it for recording day.
Oh, well, that's very responsible of you. Well, I mean, was it getting to be a problem? I mean, what?
Not at all. Just been been watching the calories, counting the calories, and
trying to get your summer kit ready, get that summer physique.
Get my bikini physique ready. Ooh, that's so funny, Fitz. Oh.
Anyway, dude, back to the fucking game.
Okay, so here's my rant because I'm so frustrated because I'm going to bring it up again. I did this 2 weeks ago to you. Ramsey, the guy, he frustrates me. Not because he's the worst player on the pitch. I actually don't always believe he's the worst player on the pitch. The first half and the second half were like night and day, though.
Yeah.
In the first half, I'm watching Ramsey, and when I see his effort, and I also notice, and people have to admit this, man, I mean, He makes the best runs through the midfield of anybody we have. He makes diagonal runs. He tries to give people space. Hey, I'm just talking about that aspect right there.
Yeah.
Because when he receives the ball, what he decides to do a lot of times is something that makes me want to scream. Just scream. The dude drives me crazy. But then in second half, it was old Hollywood Ramsey back again. Trying to do spider kick passes and back heels and, always making like a poor decision. We had double cuts going through the middle and he was the back guy. He receives the ball, but there's nobody near him. They went to chase Giroud in front of him.
Right.
And he's by himself, and he chooses to try to one-time it from an impossible angle. Like, dude, you got time to bring it down, set up, and shoot. I don't get the dude, man. His decision-making is off the chain, dude. The guy is crazy.
Yeah, not a lot of shots from outside the box. Just, hey, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'm going to not randomly, the ball's cleared from a corner and it's coming down and, you just take a swipe. I'm not talking about those shots. I'm talking about like Ozil. There was one in the first half where he gets it and then he decides to pass it where he's, all set up. It's all set up. It's on his left foot. No shot. That situation with Ramsey, no shot. Nobody is just saying, fuck it, I'm going to give it a go. Xhaka, it's like Wenger put a gun to his head and say, hey, man, if you shoot the ball again, I'm going to shoot you. Don't ever,
I know, man. I know.
But, my problem with Ramsey, you watch him throughout the game. He is making good runs, but he doesn't the way we're set up is that if he's pushing way high and he's in the box, and if anything happens where Tottenham gets the ball and they're breaking, there's a huge gap in that area of the pitch, and Xhaka can't cover it. Xhaka cannot cover it. And that happens way too much for Ramsey. He'll get to a point where he's constantly making runs into the box instead of periodically doing it, doing it at the right time of the game. He doesn't do it at the right time. He's constantly doing it, and that just leaves big holes defensively. You know what I mean? If you're going to come into this game and play like we played against Man City, then you got to be disciplined, especially him in that position of the field. You just got to be disciplined. You can't get, you just got to be disciplined. We're keeping it tight. We're damn near parking the bus. That's what we're doing. And we're going to try to get a goal later. But, his positioning, when he'll push him forward, it leaves big gaps. And, the 2 goals, on throw-in, what was it? A throw-in, and then who got the ball taken from him from that African? I think it was either Ramsey or Xhaka. He comes up, takes the ball, and then, Gabriel, who I was just praying, Gabriel on that third start, if he starts 3 games in a row, that third start is going to be like it was today. He
had a rough one. He had a rough game.
The consistency's not going to be there. But I mean, at least he looks he looks like he's trying, and that could just be because he looks crazy, but he looks like he's trying. But the throw in, the lackadaisical on that right hand side.
Yep.
And the pass, whatchamacallit, Eriksen, he goes right by Koscielny on the touch. It's just way, way too simple. Way too simple. But this happens all the time. So what can we say?
Yeah.
What can we say? So that was the North London derby. And then, to give up a goal a minute after the first goal, that happens all the time. These are things that continue to happen. You give up 1 goal, you wait about a minute or 2, you're going to give up another goal. I mean, this is the state of the team.
Yeah.
They have passed us by. They're 17 points ahead of us. You know what I mean? I read my Twitter feed and people are still making fun of Tottenham. It's like they're 17 points ahead of us and you're still making dumb Tottenham jokes about how awful and our history. I mean, that's stupid. That is stupid. I mean, they're killing us. They're going about their business. It's not even a concern. When you looked at those players, they were just like, we're going to beat these guys because they're busters, Right. It was just an easy stroll in the park for them,
I tell you, like, I told you my assessment of Tottenham, beginning of the season last year. Like, these guys, they have a good number of just like real athletes. Like good athletes. They're just as fast and probably faster than us, but every one of them guys that are faster than us are also bigger than us. They're all stouter and bigger and faster. And I just think like in the second half, Tottenham, but they just kind of just turned it up. Like when they turned it up, we didn't have another gear to go. So
exactly. That's exactly what happened.
The whole second part of the first half there, Arsenal was pressing hard and they were, pushing and, it felt like, okay, we're giving it back to them a little bit, but they turned it on in the second and we couldn't answer that. But like, we just didn't have the athletes. Like
that's exactly what happened. Coming out of the locker room, they, Pochettino said something to him and they responded to him. Whereas, I mean, I don't know what was said in our locker room, probably nothing. And, we came out there with the same old, oh my gosh, attitude. And, they just punked us. It's embarrassing, but I mean, it's a fitting in. It's a fitting in to, when you got White Hart Lane singing, Wenger, we want you to stay. We want you to stay. After 20 years of this man beating them after 20 years, all the titles, all the prestige Wenger has, and just the constant beatdowns we've been putting on Tottenham for all these years, for them, I mean, it's just so fitting for them to be singing it. Like, we want you to stay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you're awful now. And you know what I mean?
It really is probably the biggest statement of this whole Wenger situation.
Yeah, team we've destroyed for years is singing, we want you to stay.
Yeah, that moment kind of defines like it can't get any crazier at Arsenal.
Right.
Tottenham fans want you to stay.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's really clever. It's funny.
Right. In a sad, pitiful kind of way. It did. It's just like, wow, look at this. These fools are actually singing this song. This guy has been putting a smack down on these bitches for years, and they're actually singing this song. But I mean, we've had a few, we beat Man City, we beat Leicester, and, oh my gosh, maybe we can get top 4. But it doesn't matter. Like, we do this shit every year, even if we get top 4. You know what I mean? It'll be incredible this year, but it's, nothing is going to change with Wenger at the helm. Nothing. Yeah. And even though he went to a back 3, he waited too long. You know what I mean? He waited too long. This is something we implemented 3 weeks ago, and we are still learning. It's like, motherfucker, you should have been trying different stuff. Today, Pochettino, Tottenham usually play a back 3, but today they went with a back 4. They switched it up.
Yeah.
On the fly. They have a coach that has a defined mentality. We're going to press, run around like crackheads, and we're going to, do our thing. But we just don't have that. So it's sad. It's not coming to an end. I have a feeling, who knows? The whole mystery. Oh gosh, are you going to sign? I mean, come on. That's just.
Look, I've totally got to where I don't care, whatever, dude. It's like,
Well, yeah, he punked us.
Maybe this is the old man's game. I'm gonna wear you down until you don't give a fuck what happes.
Exactly. Yeah, he just punked us. He played that game. Nobody's putting the screws to him. He's got the Arsenal world by the balls. There, I said it again. For all you who don't like that reference, but yeah,
I'm gonna say this is how addiction. This is how and why Arsenal fans are so unique and uniquely addicted to Arsenal football. But year after year after year, they've had dramatic end of the seasons to get into the top 4. They've been in second and almost won league, and they've done all this, and it's year after, it's for 20 years now. They just continue to do it. So that, in the last 2 weeks, that changed for us because it looked like all of a sudden it's possibly in reach again. And everybody is it's like they're hitting the crack pipe again. They're just oh God, we got to do it. And I'm just like, man, I think I got to take a breath and just be like, I don't know if we need to do it. Maybe Euros is okay. Maybe that's okay for a year.
Or, playing once a week, Maybe we can make a push for the title, because, the more games we play, the more people get injured, and our injury record with players.
Yeah.
So, and we know, our transfer record with not, having a squad fully equipped to fight on 4 fronts for four trophies. So, maybe playing once a week is a good thing. Look what it did for Chelsea this year. Look what it did for Liverpool this year.
Leicester City last year.
But if he doesn't sign world-class players at every position, then it's just not going to work out. Ramsey, Theo, who else? Gibbs, Wilshere, Jack Wilshere, come on. These players are they're unrecognizable from the players,
Jack almost made it, man. He almost made it through the season. He's injured.
Yeah,
he's injured and out for the season, right?
Yeah, Jack looks like me running around out there. You know what I mean?
I never see somebody that looks like they almost are going down on every step.
Yeah,
he just died. That's why.
Well, yeah. Don't even get me started on that. His thighs are turned in. He's pigeon thighed. You know what I mean? So
one of my favorite terms of all time, people.
So he's not pigeon. He's not pigeon-toed. He's pigeon-thighed, and scientists all around the world have said that causes a lot of stress on you. I don't know, but I mean, come on. I want to put Ox in that boat, but I mean, Ox, he didn't have a good game today, but he's still getting used to being a right wing back, on the fly.
It's such a trip, like.
Bellerin, I can lump him.
The way they're announcing how the Ox is, Arsene Wenger's definitely said his future is in the middle of the pitch, in the middle of the pit. Like, you've been moving him around all season, and he's had pluses from both places. Like, to talk about his future, like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, the Ox is not, this isn't like a first-year starter. Like, Ox has been on the team for a while, man. You don't need to be telling me about his future, dude. I've seen him. I know what he does. Like, exactly. A coach could decide a lot of different things about the way they like to use the Ox. So,
let me throw something at you. And who does this reflect upon? To me, it reflects upon the coach. If Ox went to play for Liverpool and played under Klopp in their system, would he be better than what he is now at Arsenal? That's an easy yes to me.
Yeah, of course. Actually,
if we wouldn't played, he'd played tremendously better than Raheem Sterling at Man City. To me, it's just I don't know. But why do these young players who look so promising regress so much? You look at Bellerin now. You look what Iwobi's still really young, so I'm not going to go so hard on him. But you could even see that he is completely falling off. You look at Jack. You look at Ramsey. Look what happened to Gibbs.
Yeah.
It just scares the shit out of me for people like Holden because, we got him. He's young, and I don't want to see the same thing happen to him. But I mean, that's the classic case. Him and Bellerin. And he will be. Bellerin, looked like a world beater. Look at him now. He looks like dog shit. Jack, that game a long time ago against Barcelona Champions League, tremendous. Look at him now. Oh, he got hurt. Yeah, that's fine and dandy. A lot of people get hurt, but they don't just turn into dog shit overnight. Ramsey, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what that is. Like, players, they regress, man. It's just, anyway.
I don't know. I'm thinking. I'm also wondering too. Like, I mean, even on other teams and around leagues and stuff. Like, how many guys you think at like the age of like 15, 16, 17 show a world of talent, like potential, like that's their potential, and then by 21, 22. It like that's as good as those guys got. Like they just
you can't even recognize them.
I mean, or I mean, maybe you do recognize them because they had a name at 17, so everybody knew who they were, but they just never really got over the hump. Like it just.
I mean, it happens, but to me, it just seems like it happens all.
But
the time.
the coincidence factor on Arsenal, how many players are at that stage and recognition at 17 years old. And then,
that's his claim to fame.
And then where are you by the age of 22? Oh, you're kind of the same player. Like you never even got better, huh? Like,
yeah. Well, the thing with Arsenal, I mean, like you were saying in your example, players will get to, they reach their potential, but they never really cross the line to, maybe world class or, great player, but, they're a solid player. But with Arsenal, they go backwards, dude. Theo, Ramsey, Wilshere. I mean, they're going backwards. Like Ramsey, you don't even know, you unrecognizable as far as where his talent has gone. Ox, you know, Belly.
Yep.
I mean, come on, dude. They go backwards, and that's the thing. It's like there's no, like, you got to coach. You got to continuously coach these guys up. You got to continuously develop them. You got to find a position for them and play them there. You know, don't plug them in somewhere else because you didn't buy enough players. So now, fucking, they're playing somewhere else. You know, that happens a lot. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. If Wenger stays, it's going to be much of the same. I don't know what he can do all of a sudden to switch things. For like the last 10 years, this has just been a cycle that's on repeat, and it's just,
yeah,
it's just continuing. So anyway, enough of that. We're about to wrap this up in a couple minutes. So let the games begin. We got Man U next Sunday.
Yeah. Man U, man. We got them next Sunday.
And if every time we play Man U or every time we play a Jose Mourinho team, he always likes to talk shit. And
oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So, he has a perfect opportunity to pile on, although he might, because there's still a little pressure on him. If we beat them, then we're, they're in fifth, but anyway, I mean, that'll be interesting. We're playing them at the Emirates, I think. Yeah. So that'll be an interesting game. Do you think Tottenham have a chance at winning the league?
Yes, I do.
You really do? Wow.
Yep, I do. I think one of the best things Chelsea's done this year is beat those teams that we're supposed to beat.
Yeah.
But I'm not like, I mean, I do think Tottenham still has a chance.
Like, okay. Yeah, I mean,
realistic.
Yeah. Technically they do. I think Chelsea will win the title. They had their hardest game left today, and I thought it would be, if Everton can go out there and get a point or beat them, then, now it's on and popping. But they handled their business, and I just think, Conte as a coach, a motivator, a player developer, a tactician, will be able to get his team over the line.
Yeah.
You look at what he's done with somebody like Victor Moses. You look at what he's done with Alonso, the left wing back. I mean, a journeyman, basically.
Yeah.
You look at what he's done with David Luiz, a fucking crackhead, a Pedro. You know what I mean? And so on and so on. Sometimes you need a coach who can come in and coach players up. Coach them up, man. Get them ready.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what he's done, mixed in with the tactics, mixed in with the hard decisions. Oh, John Terry, you're done. You're not playing for us anymore. Also, he just strolls them out there every week in big games.
No, I think it was real important that Conte came in. He didn't do it immediately, but pretty quick he changed the formation. And changing that formation was really a good way of like putting a stamp on putting his stamp on the team, Okay, this is how we're going to run, and I'm choosing you guys that are on the pitch because I think you fit this style best, And It puts it's a weird way of putting confidence in these guys, like, hey, he believes in me, man. Like, I have to play my ass off now,
Exactly. It's just it's night and day as far as from a overall coaching to Wenger. It's just night and day. And I like the way he handled it. He threw them out there. He threw them all to the wolves. What everybody wanted. JT, 4-4-2. We're gonna do okay. Yeah, I'll show you guys. And then once he lost to Arsenal, he switched everything, and the rest is history. And sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to make big moves. You got to sit people who aren't performing, who are so-called world class. You got to do everything you can to get the best out of the team, and you got to put your team in the best position to win. It's like night and day. But anyway, that's enough. I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine on Twitter. His name is I call him Tone Loke, but his name is Tony. At Tony AFC 66 on Twitter. He's a gooner from London. He drives a cab, and just a hell of a guy. I was hoping he'd have a question for us, but maybe next week.
At Tony FC 66. Hey, I drove cab too, my partner. I've done it.
Messed up his name. It's at Tony AFC 66. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. AFC. All right. 66. Okay.
And I want to give a shout out to Gooner and Callie.
At Gooner and Callie.
At Gooner and Callie. I love the guy. I love his blog. He went over there and took pictures and shit. And just a solid dude. But that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the emails. Hit us up, CITMpodcast@gmail. If you want to ask us a question, if you want to talk shit, whatever, drop us a line. You can also hit us up on Twitter at CITM Podcast. You can hit me up at eMarsho, EMARSHO.
And you can hit me up at Gooner Rush. At Gooner Rush.
Yeah. Oh, and go over to iTunes, subscribe, rate, and review. Come on. Participate. SoundCloud, do a search. Kind of Two Minds. You know what I mean? YouTube. I mean, come on. Use your resources. Thanks for tuning in.
Episode number 39, y'all.
Peace.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Cod and Two Minds. Please head on over to iTunes and subscribe, rate, and review the show. All feedback is much appreciated. If you would like to contact the show, drop us an email at citmpodcast@gmail.com. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at CITM Podcast, at Gooner Rush, and at eMarsho. That's EMARSHO. The music in this podcast has been provided by Statics. If you like what you hear, be sure to check them out at staticsentertainment.com and follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Statics Music. That's STATX Music. Peace.
Big baby.
Uh-huh.
Hey, stall me out with all that. Stall me out.